Sales Maven listener, are you somebody who likes to be the first to know about all the best stuff? Well, here's your opportunity. By going to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven right now, not only are you going to get some incredible free resources from me on how to uplevel your sales, but you're also going to ensure that you will be one of the first people to be notified about the special offers that are coming out for Better Than Black Friday and Black Friday. Both offers have doorbusters attached, and you don't want to miss these doorbusters because they are so incredible and they're going to go fast. So to be sure you get the tea and get it first, go to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven right now and sign up.
Do sales conversations make you feel awkward or pushy? It's time to ditch the outdated salesy strategies. Your guide, Nikki will show you how to combine kindness with selling skills to meet your prospects where they are, and in the process, how to uplevel your influence and income. Learn how to earn business easily and effortlessly. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Roush, your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips and strategies and techniques to master your sales conversations. Today's episode is a solo episode. We are going to be talking about how to turn vague client requests into sales. Have you ever found yourself in one of those situations? Somebody reaches out to you and they give you this very vague description, or maybe even a very robust description that describes like everything under the sun that would make it almost impossible for you to put an offer back in front of them. Have you ever had that happen? It's something that's come up a few times in some coaching sessions with clients, and it can be frustrating, right? Somebody sends you this request with not a lot to go on. It's kind of out of the blue, and they're asking you to make a recommendation. So what do? First and foremost, I would say stop yourself when you find being a little bit frustrated and take the opportunity to reframe this in your mind, because if you respond from a frustrated place, it might come across as you're being dismissive or condescending in some way, and or being difficult, right? And the thing is, if somebody's reaching out to you for the first time with a very vague request and you come across as unhelpful in some way, or you don't really like answer their question in a way that they were expecting, you might actually repel them from even giving you the chance to earn their business. So I want you to be able to earn those requests, those vague requests. I want you to be able to earn that business as much as somebody who shows up knowing what they want, right? So instead of being frustrated, reframe it and remember that you are the expert. You're the authority on what it is that you offer, and you're the authority on what you have available to sell to somebody. So we want to make it so easy for them to do business with you. And remember, because it is your job to earn their business, it's also your job to guide them through the process. So this came up in a coaching session literally yesterday, because I've been working on this episode for a couple of days now. And it came up yesterday where a client had said somebody reached out to her on behalf of their client. So we have a middle person, right? And they send her a request for, could you send us, I think she said, could you send us like 3 options for XYZ product? We're putting on this event. Can you send us 3 options? Well, my amazing client has hundreds of options of what's available there's basically no information to go on. There's no budget. There's nothing. So she's like, what do I do here? So I'm going to talk through kind of how to handle those situations, but this isn't an uncommon situation where people find themselves getting these like super vague requests. They might come through your website. They might come, into your email. It might come through, a DM to you. Or sometimes it's somebody just having a conversation with you and you're thinking like, where am I even supposed to start with this person? So again, I mentioned it's super important that you stand in your place of authority and expertise and remember that it's your job to make it easy for them to buy from you. So you have to give them a place to start. So that's the first thing. is even if you're going to miss the mark on your recommendation for them, by giving them something to start with, some kind of a solution to start with, it gives their brain the ability to either say, yes, that's what I'm looking for, or for them to get more clear, like, that isn't exactly what I was hoping for. Do you have X, Y, and Z? So it's going to help with some clarity. So I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, and I talk about it a lot actually in coaching calls because it's such an effective technique. This is one of those places where you bring in the what I call the giving the menu, right? So if you've heard me tell this story before, you're going to hear it again. And I hope it resonates with you at a deeper level, even hearing it for another time. So if you go into a sandwich shop and it's your first time, maybe they're brand new in your town and you go to get a sandwich. The thing that we love about sandwich shops is they usually have the little sign that says order here, right? And then above, like on the back wall, they usually have a board. And on that board, it's like, here's all of our meats and cheeses and breads and toppings. And then here's our specialty sandwiches. So when you go up and you see this board, it's pretty easy for you to start to choose. Do you want to make your own sandwich or do you want one of the specialty sandwiches? Now, the person that is standing behind the counter, they actually don't care what kind of sandwich you want. They just want you to pick so that they can start doing their job and make the sandwich. And it's because they have this board that makes it easy for you to choose. Now, if you go into a sandwich shop and they have no board and you go up to the counter, what is some of your first questions? What kind of bread do you have? What kind of specialty sandwiches do you have? Maybe, right? And if the person behind the counter is looking at you going like, lady, we're a sandwich shop. What kind of bread do you think we have and cheeses and toppings? Like it's a sandwich shop. What kind of meat do you think we have? And they act in any way a little bit put out. Like I'm probably never going to go back to that sandwich shop. And I'm going to be annoyed that they didn't make it easy for me to choose. And they kind of put it all on me. Like I'm supposed to know, like not every kind of sandwich shop has the same kind of bread, right? So you don't want to be the person standing behind the counter acting a little annoyed when somebody doesn't see your menu board because maybe they haven't looked at your website or maybe it's not right in front of them. And so they've got these really vague questions that might seem a little annoying, but in reality, they want you to make them a sandwich, right? Or they want to actually buy from you. So it's your job to give them a menu, to get them started. Because again, we don't care if the person picks a specialty sandwich or if they build your own. Same with, you don't need to be attached to this particular vague request, picking exactly what you recommend, but by giving them something to start with, to look at, to evaluate, it's going to help them make a quicker decision and it's going to help you earn their business faster. So, your response to these vague requests. And this is the exact response that I suggested to my client yesterday. It's also the response that I suggest to any of my clients that find themselves in these situations is you might respond and say, let's say this is over email. You might respond and say, thank you so much. I can absolutely help you with that. So you want to reaffirm right away, you've got an option for them, or you can absolutely serve this person. Then you're going to say, now, in order to give you a specific suggestion, here are a few questions. And you'll see I've included a few options just to get you started to find the right solution for you. So then you're going to have your really specific short questions, maybe 3 or 4 that helps you narrow some things down. Then underneath your questions, you're going to say, here are a few options for your consideration. And then you're going to give them a menu, right? You're going to say, and I would recommend giving 3 options. I like 3. 3 makes it easy for people to go like, not that, maybe this. Or it gives them the option for their brain to go, oh, none of these are quite right, but what about this? And we're just trying to get to the what about this so we can actually earn the business. So again, you don't have to be attached to them picking one of your suggestions. We just want to be attached to keeping the ball rolling, keeping the conversation going. So in your 3 recommendations, it could be, let's say somebody says, Nikki, I need some help with sales. So what are ways to work with you? There's lots of ways to work with me, but I will typically always respond. There are three main ways. We could work together privately in a one-on-one, and then I'm going to outline kind of the benefits from it. And if they'd asked about, and what's the pricing? Now, if they ask me about pricing, I'm going to say pricing for private coaching ranges between X and Y. Second option, group coaching program, Sales Maven Society, benefits of it. This is, and I'm going to say it's $147 a month. Third option would be to, access the Sales Maven Studio, which is my resource hub. You get access to training, scripts, and you can go through it at your own pace. Here's the price. It's $25 a month for 12 months, right? So now I've got three options in my response to them. And then I'm going to say, which of the above options is the best fit for you right now? Would you like to discuss any of these in further detail? Here's a link to schedule a time that works best for you. Or I'm going to give the 3 times. Here are some times that we could schedule a quick call to discuss what are the best options for you. And then I'm going to give them 3 ranges of time. This is my 3 times piece here. And then I'm going to say, looking forward to your response. So I've answered their question. I've given them something to start with. And now they can look at it and go, well, actually, I was just wanting to, access XYZ, or, I really just need a, 15-minute spotlight coaching session with me. Well, I haven't mentioned anything about spotlight coaching sessions, but if it helps them get closer to what they are looking for, that's the goal here, right? This is how you're going to close more sales, is we got to give their brain something to make an association to. Hey, Sales Maven listener, are you somebody who likes to be the first to know about all the best stuff? Well, here's your opportunity. By going to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven right now, not only are you going to get some incredible free resources from me on how to uplevel your sales, but you're also going to ensure that you will be one of the first people to be notified about the special offers that are coming out for Better Than Black Friday and Black Friday. Both offers have doorbusters attached, and you don't want to miss these doorbusters because they are so incredible and they're going to go fast. So to be sure you get the tea and get it first, go to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven right now and sign up. And that's why you've got to give this menu, why you want to give them kind of 3 options. Even if you go like, I'm kind of shooting in the dark here because I have no idea. And maybe there's, you might think, well, Nikki, your stuff is so clear. You've got these 3 main ways to work with you. Well, I have way more than 3, honestly. I've got master classes, right? I do private trainings for organizations. Like I can go on, but I'm going to pick the 3 kind of maybe the main or the most popular. Now, this is what I said to my client who has this myriad of products. We kind of have an idea of the type of product they're looking for. So we're going to say, here are 3 of our more popular options, right? And then we're going to give the most expensive first. That's your top-down selling. Then we're going to give the middle, and then the least expensive, like of the 3 options to get started. And then, she could say, and what I suggested here, there are many more options available. In order to, find one that's the exact fit for you, let's schedule a quick call. If that's what's needed in that moment, right? In this case with my client, it would be needed. But it sounds like with her, this is somebody who's gathering information. The thing you don't want to do is not give the information gatherer some kind of something to go back to their client with, because chances are they've reached out to other people, not just you. And if you don't have anything for them to go back because all you have are questions or a little bit of a frustrated response of like, let me know if you can give me more information and I'd be happy to give you, options, you just get eliminated from consideration because somebody of the other people they've reached out to have probably given some kind of options. So you need to do that to stay in the running and to earn the business. And sometimes another way to kind of lay out your 3 options for people is you might say, this is our most, this is our like most robust option. Option 2, a little bit less expensive. You might say, here's the most popular. Now, the reason you do here's the most popular is because some people are externally motivated in certain contexts. So internal motivators, people, those are the people who are like, I really don't care what everybody has to say. I don't need to read reviews. I make decisions for myself whether or not I want this. Externally motivated people like to know what other people are buying. They like to know what other people are choosing. It gives them confidence that they're amongst, like in good company. So having an option that you say, like, this is the most popular option is a good indicator for the externally motivated people of like, you're going to make a good decision here should you choose this one. And then you could have your basic model, right? Which is the third option. That's the least expensive. So now you know when you find yourself in these situations, you've got some options on how to respond. And the most important thing is that you actually give their brain something to go like, oh, well, maybe I don't need this, but maybe I need that. Or now it spurs a question for them. One of my favorite coaches of all time, he always says, Nikki, most people are one question away from hiring you. I always add the piece like, and your job is to give them the option to ask that question. We've got to prompt that question. And the way you prompt a question is by giving people some options and allow their brain to go, yeah, but what about this? Or what about that? Right. So again, you got to make it easy for them to say yes to one of your options and or I've got a question so that we keep the conversation going. And then if they are still like, I still don't really know what I want, or I'm still thinking about it, and they're not willing to kind of take that next step with you, then you also want to leave the door open that they're welcome to reach back out when they're ready to have a conversation, or when they're ready to make a decision, or when they're ready to find out more, and let them know you'll be happy to hear from them, right? Like leave that door open, because sometimes people won't buy right away, right? They'll like explore and then they'll take a bunch of time to think about it, or they won't actually think about it, but they'll get focused on other things and then they'll come back to it. You probably have done this in your own life. And then when you're ready to buy, like who's the person you're going to buy from? The person who made it really easy for you to get information, the person who made it easy for you to make some decisions, right? Your job is to always make it as easy as possible. That's how you're going to earn business. And of course, it's okay to bless and release the people who are just time sucking, right? If they're just question after question after question and they're still being really vague, they're not actually taking any action, they're not giving you any information. At some point, it's also okay for you to say, in order for us to continue this conversation, it probably makes the most sense for us to get on a call. Here is a link to schedule a time when you're ready, and I'd be happy to answer any additional questions that you have there. And that's the like kind way to bless and release the people who are just like pinging you with question after question after question. I had this happen I guess it was a couple months ago. Somebody had listened to a podcast episode, sent a question, love that. So I answered the question. I offered them an opportunity for us to potentially work on what it was that they wanted. They waited a couple days and then sent me a totally different question that now it's getting into like this coaching piece. So I say, that's a great question. That's definitely something that we could cover in a coaching session. Here are a few options for you. Is this something you'd like to move forward with? So then they sent me back another response, I think a few days later, that was more around like what was going on in their business and how they needed some support. Also, how they had no money. There's always that piece of it. So then I just say to this person, like, if and when things change, it would be an honor to work with you. Here are some options of ways that we can work together. Here's my link to, here's a link to jump on a call should you decide that you would like to invest in some sales coaching. And in the meantime, wishing you continued success. That's me blessing and releasing. Like, this doesn't get to just be a time suck of like, we're not pen pals in this particular case, right? I'm not looking for a new pen pal. So it's like, are we in it together? Are we moving forward or not? And either way is okay. Just don't let yourself get into the time sucks. All right. So That is the episode. I hope you found this helpful. I am, as always, wishing you continued success in all that you're doing. If you haven't left a review yet for the podcast, would you? Or would you share an episode that you find particularly helpful in any form? If you want to share it on social media, if you want to tag me and let me know how much you enjoyed the episode or what you got out of it, or share it with a friend who you think would benefit. I would be so grateful. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.
Are you ready to increase your confidence in your sales conversations? I have a gift for you that is going to show you exactly how to do that. It is my Closing the Sale ebook. It's all about leveling up your confidence, giving you language to use, how to seamlessly move somebody through the sales process. And you can get it right now by going to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven. Go grab it.